All right, so I am Sam Nicolai. I am Senior Digital Strategist and run the Enterprise Department in the Division of Digital Strategy and Innovation at the University of North Texas. And I'm joined today by Stephanie Myers, our Student Services Manager for the program at UNT. She is also currently serving as the advisor as well. So she will, if you move forward with the program, you will get to know Stephanie very well. All right, so just a quick overview of the program today. The Bachelor of Applied Arts and Sciences, or as we will refer to it many times today, it is the B.A.A.S degree. This is a completion degree. So this is for you to finish what you've started. So a lot of you joining today have credits from previous experiences, be it technical experiences, military experiences, or other higher education experiences. That credit will transfer into this program and then help get you to that bachelor's degree. This degree is fully online on the Coursera platform. It is $330 per credit hour, and that is for anyone. So that's in the state of Texas, that's out of the state of Texas, that's in the United States, that's out of the United States. $330 per credit hour. Additionally, we have a one-time application fee, which is $75 for domestic students, $85 for international students. Waivers are available for those who qualify. And to be able to qualify for a waiver, you need either to be a part of an enterprise program through your employer, and you will know if that's you, or be eligible by the estimated family contribution on your FAFSA, which we'll explain later. We also have a one-time $45 online orientation fee. We do require that you bring at least 45 hours of other credit into the program, and we offer degree plans for you prior to applying for the program if you are unsure if you qualify for that 45 hours or not. So let's get into it with financial aid today. So financial aid is money from federal and state governments, the institution of higher education, and private resources that assist family in meeting the cost of a student's education. We know that the cost of higher education is high in this country, and so we want to make sure that you have all of the tools in your toolkit to be able to pay for your degree. And the first of which is that we have this degree, this $330 per credit hour, is the most affordable degree program we have at the University of North Texas. It is the lowest cost, and we offer a lot of services and help to get you through that as well. So there are a couple different types of financial aid. So there are grants, which are need-based funds that you do not have to repay. So that is money that is simply given to you to finish your degree, and those are called grants. And then there are loans, which is money that does have to be repaid. And then there are a couple different types of loans. So you can do a federal student loan or a Parent Plus loan, or you can do a private loan. For more information on loans and rates and all of that involved with the US federal government, you can go to www.studentaid.gov, and that website is there on the screen. Also, it's important to remember when you are applying for grants or loans, some of those do have like a minimum GPA or satisfactory academic progress, like that you're making progress towards your degree, you're getting grades, or credit hour requirements. So make sure that you know those coming in, and talk about those requirements with your advisor. Stephanie will definitely make sure that your your financial aid needs are met in your advising as well. So let's talk about the FAFSA. Very, very, very important piece of paperwork to do as part of the college process. You know, we think about the college application all the time, and that's really important, but also just as important is that FAFSA. So the FAFSA is only filled out once a year, which is good news for us because nobody likes filling it out more than once, right? So you fill it out one time a year, and it's only for US domestic students. So keep that in mind because you do have to include information from your US taxes on your FAFSA. So here there's a chart that says when you are attending college, these are the year's income information, the tax information that you'll use. So if you are applying for our fall 21 program, which is the application that's open right now, or even spring 22 program, you will be using your 2019 income. So keep that in mind as you are applying for school. So you can apply for the federal application for federal student aid and the Texas application for state financial aid. So if you're in Texas, you can do that. If you are not in Texas, check your state. Your state probably has opportunities for that as well. The FAFSA. So I didn't realize we've got, okay, so for the FAFSA, you're going to use your 2019 income information. I'm going to say that again because it's really important to remember that you'll be using that income information. You generally need to complete it on or before October 1st. The website to find the FAFSA is www.fafsa.gov. And you'll be using, so it's called prior income information. So that's prior would be 2020 information, prior is 2020 or 2019. So keep that in mind. You're using income information from 2019. To send your FAFSA to UNT, this is a really important thing. When you're filling out your FAFSA, especially if you think you're going to qualify for an application waiver, make sure you send your FAFSA information to UNT using our school code, which I'm going to give you right now. And then Stephanie, if you could also put it in the chat, that would be great. So the UNT school code for the FAFSA is 003594. I'm going to say that again, 003594. You'll want to make sure you send us that information because if you have determined that your estimated family contribution is below $400, you will qualify for that waiver. But in order to get your application processed, if you say, I have a waiver, so you're not going to pay, we need to be able to confirm that you get a waiver. And so to do that, we need to look at your FAFSA. Otherwise, your application will not get processed. So please make sure if you, especially if you're doing a waiver, that you send your FAFSA to UNT so that we can make sure we get your application through the process and get you admitted to the program. So then let's talk about scholarships, because not everyone is going to qualify for federal aid. Some of you will have exhausted your federal aid or need additional money for your programs. So for scholarships, we have two different kinds of scholarships that you can qualify for. The first are internal scholarships. So those are internal to UNT. We have a scholarship application on our financial aid webpage called the General Scholarship Application. If you fill that out, then you'll be applied for all of these scholarships for which you qualify. Additionally, my department offers a DSI opportunity grant, which is money for you to finish out your degree. That is a need-based grant. We look at the financial need, and then also the if you have used all of your federal aid, so you have an allotted amount of federal aid that you can use throughout the life of your educational career, and once you hit that, then there's no more aid for you. And so we don't want that to be a barrier for you to complete your degree if you've used all your aid. So that is one thing that we do offer, is that DSI opportunity grant, and we look for those who have exhausted their federal aid to be able to award that grant to. Additionally, there are departmental and transfer student scholarship opportunities. If you go to our financial aid website, which is financialaid.unt.edu/scholarships, you'll see that list there on the screen of how to apply, types of scholarships, waivers and exemptions, avoiding scholarship scams, which is going to be really important when we talk about external scholarships, application help, and the scholarship FAQ. So for all information related to UNT scholarships, please visit that webpage there. So external scholarships are things outside of UNT. I will say that Stephanie and I do keep a list of external scholarships specific to transfer students or working students, students who are parents, just kind of thinking about all the different categories that our students could fit into. And we try to pull as many of those scholarships as we can into a list, which we send out to our students. Definitely want you to read the tab on the financialaid.unt.edu page about avoiding scholarship scams. Want to make sure that you're doing this safely. But also on that scholarships page on our financial aid website, they have listed several different outside external scholarships from various agencies that you can check out. They've got them linked there, and you can easily get to those scholarships to see if you qualify. Again, with scholarships, you will have to meet satisfactory academic progress, and generally there will be a course load requirement as well. All right, and now I'm going to hand it over to Stephanie to talk about your My UNT portal.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So just to continue this along, when you are admitted, you will get your My UNT sign in and login information so that you can access your student portal. So this is an image on the right that shows the student portal. It lists tasks, admissions, enrollment, academic records, financial aid and scholarships, student account information. So this is really important that you, once you're admitted, can log into here and see your to-do list, which will have a list of anything you're missing that UNT needs, such as transcripts or English proficiency. But it will also list any financial aid documents or student accounting documents that you'll be missing. This is also the place that you will accept or decline any awards that you were awarded from financial aid or student accounting. You will see your loan debt listed on there, so you can see, okay, how long will this take me to pay off? When are the dates that I have to pay my loan? There's also an opportunity for loan counseling. So we have people who are on call who can help you with that. You can view pending aid that you'll have for the upcoming semesters here. So you'll know, okay, maybe I can only take one class this semester, or I'm going to take 2 classes because my aid covers that. So you'll be able to see what you're awarded within this portal. You will also be able to access the summer aid interest form. And so summer aid is different. It's a total different form than fall and spring aid on the FAFSA. So you do have to fill out a separate form for that. And so that will be found in here. And then again, as Sam has mentioned, satisfactory academic progress, it will show you in here where you're at with that, because most, if not all, scholarships and aid are also making sure you're making progress towards graduation and you have the right GPA. Also, another very important part of this is that you do get all of these emails from financial aid or student accounting to your UNT email. So once you are admitted to UNT, you will definitely want to get your Eagle Connect email set up, your mailbox, and you will be provided with a UNT ID, which will then allow you to set up your mailbox. And pretty much everything from the university that is important is sent through this UNT email. So even though you have a Gmail account or a Yahoo account, don't expect anything to go there. It goes all through your UNT email. So just kind of a recap. It is always important with anything you do financial is to keep your documents. So be sure to keep your income documents like tax returns and W-2s, because as you fill out the FAFSA, you will most likely need this information. Also, always remember to write down those deadlines of when the FAFSA and TAFSA are due. Each year you will have to fill out a new one for that upcoming academic year. So you'll want to make sure you always have that as a revolving deadline on your calendar. You will always apply for financial aid and scholarships separately. They're two different things. They're both different forms of aid that you can get, but they go through a different process. So if you do, your FAFSA, then great. Your scholarships will be completely separate. As we mentioned, you want to avoid scams, and with that, never pay anyone for assistance with the FAFSA, TAFSA, or researching, online opportunities. That's just something you want to stay away from, because they'll have your, W-2 information, they have your tax return information. That's obviously very important to keep to yourself and make sure all of that information is secure. Also, be sure to keep any copies of correspondence with anyone you're working with the FAFSA, with the federal processor, and with UNT. Again, it's just always important, all these documents that are talking about money and your finances, just make sure you keep record of those. Also, again, as I mentioned in the last slide, you definitely want to check your UNT portal and also your UNT email for any important information regarding UNT and regarding your finances, what you owe, everything related to UNT. You definitely want to check those two places. You also want to submit all of your college transcripts to the UNT Office of Admissions. They are the ones that process your transcripts, and once we have all of those transcripts, they can make an admissions decision based off of the credit that you have. So it is important to turn in those transcripts. And again, as Sam mentioned, for this program, we require 45 credit hours and also at least a 2.0 overall GPA. And overall means from any schools you've ever attended, it's that GPA, it's all put together, and that's your overall GPA. And then most aid programs do require at least half-time attendance. So that basically means that's 6 credit hours. For this program, we do offer our classes in 8-week terms. So we have an 8-week one in spring and fall, which is the first couple months. And then there's an 8-week 2, which is the last couple months. And so in order to be half-time, you would have to take 1 class in 8-week 1, 1 class in 8-week 2 at least. In order to be full-time, you have to have 12 credit hours over the 2 8-week terms. So you'd take 2 classes in 8-week 1, 2 classes in 8-week 2. Again, you want to look at your aid and always make sure, okay, I know how many classes I have to take in order to get my aid, because if you don't have that many classes, you're not going to get the aid that you want and were awarded. And then scholarship attendance requirements will vary. Scholarships will list, okay, you have to get a 3.5 in, these classes, or you have to have 12 credit hours full time to get the scholarship. So each scholarship has its different requirements, and you just want to make sure that you're meeting those so that you can continue to get the scholarship. And then for more information, we do have our student financial aid office that you can contact. And so their hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Central Standard Time. And then their contact information, their email is financialaid@unt.edu. And then they do have a separate email for scholarships. That's scholarships@unt.edu. And it is always important to include your UNT ID number, the 8-digit ID number that you receive when you are actually admitted to the university when you're contacting these offices, because it's easier to find you that way than to look up your name in the system, because there are a lot of similar names. And so moving forward from here, so if this is your first introduction to the program, we do offer a service where you can send your unofficial transcripts to our Coursera enrollment coach, and their email address is UNT-BAAS@coursera.org. By sending your unofficial transcripts to Coursera enrollment coach, you will be able to get an unofficial planning sheet created by us as the advisors, which will show you exactly how many credits that you will transfer into UNT, what requirements you have already completed, and then what you need to still complete your degree after that. And this is it's a courtesy with this program. Not all programs do this, but we want to make sure before you're putting money down and you're actually applying, you can get an idea of where you're going to stand and possibly how long this is going to take for you, because every single person is different based on your previous credit. So you definitely, if you're ready to go and just like, I want to apply, you can totally just go ahead and apply to the program without an unofficial planning sheet. But we do offer that for you, again, so you can see where you stand with the program before spending any money on it. All right, so again, moving forward, if you want that degree plan, contact our Coursera enrollment coaches at UNT-BAAS@coursera.org. And also, if you're just ready to go, ready to apply, we have our integrated app on the Coursera website. So we'll put that website in the chat for you so you can access that application. And then we do have some upcoming webinars. We are having a program overview again on May 5th. That is basically going to explain all the requirements of the program, how many hours everyone needs to graduate, everything like that. So you'll have the full outline of the program. And then we will host a live question and answer session on June 3rd. And that will be for everyone to just any questions that you have about the program, we want to answer them and make sure you feel ready to commit to this program and to commit to finishing your degree.
Awesome. So I just put the degree website on the Coursera page in the chat. It is www.coursera.org/degree/UNT-online-bachelor-completion. And that is where you can access our enrollment coaches. That's where you can access the integrated application. That's where you can access additional information and links on the degree and on financial resources. So all of this information that we've talked about today and in our previous webinars lives on that page. So definitely check that out as well. So I am seeing a lot of here about international aid at this time. So, you know, the United States government offers the federal aid to US citizens at this time. So international students are not eligible for any type of US based federal aid. However, look into what your governments offer. There are some international, there are some countries, governments that will offer financial support for schooling. So check into that. There are also other scholarships that you would be available to apply for as an international student. At this time, because we use the FAFSA to waive application fees, those are not eligible for international students. I do see there's a question here about a US citizen living abroad being eligible for any waiver or financial aid. As a US citizen, if you can fill out the FAFSA, you are eligible. So it is not our rules that govern this at all. It is the rules of the federal government. And so that is what we abide by here. Let's see. An honorary citizenship holder from Texas. Yes. Yep. You are also eligible. So if you can fill out the FAFSA, you are eligible for federal aid from the United States. And then Kenya is asking, I had a degree audit done at the end of last year. How long is the degree audit valid? I am still working on getting one more transcript. Stephanie, I'm gonna let you answer that one.
Yes.
You're the pro.
Those degree audits, they continue to be valid so long as your credits haven't changed. If you have taken classes between the time that we did the degree audit, you obviously will want to let us know, because then we'll put those classes onto the degree audit for you. If you were waiting on a transcript to give to us, obviously we haven't put that on the planning sheet yet, but once that's there, you might even have more credit hours earned. So long as, again, if things didn't change, then great, the degree audit's the same. But if things did change and you did actually have more credit, then that will be added on top of what we already created for you on your degree audit.
Awesome. All right, let's see. Would this be a good program if you have 42 dual credit hours and an OTA 2-year degree from Dallas County Community College?
Yes, definitely. For sure. So the 42 dual credit hours puts you at obviously 42 hours. And then the OTA 2-year degree, it's a technical degree, and we do accept those degrees in this program, and we will accept all that credit. And usually those 2-year degrees are probably about 45 to 60 hours. So yes, definitely we can accept the credit, and it would be a great program for you.
Do we accept CLEP?
Yep, we do. We do accept CLEP credit, and just like any other university usually accepts it, we accept it as well.
So I see a question again about Kenyan citizens being eligible for financial aid. Kenyan citizens are not eligible for US-based federal aid. I don't know if the Kenyan government offers anything or your local governments offer anything, but you would also be eligible for private scholarships that you can find. What are the maximum amount of credits allowed to transfer?
So you can transfer on as many credits as possible. There will be some of the credits, if you have an excess of like 120 credit hours, there will be credit that is not used towards the degree and it will just count as additional credit. But our degree, you have to have at least 120 credit hours minimum to graduate. And that's typical of any bachelor's degree. And then we do have, university core requirements like math, science, reading, government, those sort of classes that are required. And then you have your major requirements, which are also required. So even if you're bringing in a ton of credit, there will still be things that you have to complete within your degree plan that are required to graduate.
What is the max number of credits? Did I just ask that one?
Yeah.
Yes, sorry. Is this program good for students who have nothing to transfer?
So no, this program wouldn't be ideal for you since you're starting out basically as a freshman level. This program is more so a completion program for students who have a lot of credit hours earned, universities that they've attended, but they don't have that full degree yet. So I would really suggest for those who have no credit hours, you can pursue literally any degree that you want at this point. So I would definitely try to do something maybe a little more specific to the field or area you want to go in, because you don't have a ton of other credits that you want to use and get, your value out of. So I would say no.
How about WES and ECE?
Yeah, so these are evaluation services for international credit. The only evaluation service that we accept is WES. And so if you do go about doing an evaluation service, that is the one that we accept. You do not have to when you apply to the university. Well, it's after you apply to the university. We do have international evaluators, but that can take time. And honestly, it is more helpful if you do have the WES evaluation. Things will go a lot faster with that because we do accept WES. But again, that is the only evaluation service that we accept.
Awesome. And Stephanie, this is pretty specific, so I'm not sure. Stephanie's our international transcript expert, but she may have to come back to you with an answer here. But can credits from an incomplete Indian professional degree be transferred? And if yes, what is the conversion rate?
So yeah, that is something we have to look into. The process that we go through is basically we check and make sure the school is accredited, and if UNT accepts it, so it has to be accredited. Then at that point, once we figure that out, we look at the amount of semesters you've attended and then the amount of credit hours each class is. We do, yes, a conversion ratio, and then we see what that comes out to for total credits for you. So really, if the university is accredited, then UNT accepts it, and we can then accept the credit from that school, even if you never finished your degree.
Awesome. So where do I send my details after this webinar?
Yes, so you will want to send just your name, and if you want a planning sheet or more information, you will want to reach out to the Coursera enrollment coach. And that email is on this screen, but that is UNT-BAAS@Coursera.org. So just reach out to them. They will help you through this process to get you to the point of applying. And then after applying, you'll be with UNT and you'll work with us as we move you forward in picking out classes and getting your degree done.
Awesome. Do you need to have completed the technical degree, or can you work on both at the same time?
So you can actually work on both at the same time. You can take classes concurrently at UNT and at the community college. That is an option. So if you're like, I do want to finish this technical degree, but I also want to work, towards my bachelor's degree, then you do have that option to start taking classes at UNT and then finishing up that degree at the community college. Some people just like to finish the one before they start the other, but it's, completely up to you. But for this, if you didn't finish a degree somewhere else, again, we can most likely accept the credit and put that towards your bachelor's.
If I have NQF level 5 from South Africa, do I still need to do TOEFL?
So we do have, and Sam, if you could put it in the chat, it's the website for the English proficiency requirements. And so all the information you need is on this webpage. It'll show you if you do have certain things met that you may not have to do the TOEFL. So Sam just put that in the chat for you. It's admissions.unt.edu/international/English -language-requirements.
And on that website, it also says if you have citizenship in South Africa, you don't need to take the exam because it is an English-speaking country. Let's see. I have 80 credits to transfer in the Google IT course. Awesome. Is this going to be a plan for me compared to an in-state college if I don't live in Texas? So yeah, I mean, I think you definitely qualify for the program and I think you would be a great addition. I think specifically looking at other in-state universities and colleges, because we don't charge out-of-state tuition on this program, whether you're in-state or out-of-state, it doesn't matter. It's $330 a credit hour. And that is all tuition and fees included. So we're not, when you get your bill each semester, you're not gonna have like a $330 tuition plus all of these fees, which might be the case at other universities. For this program at UNT, it is $330 a credit hour, bottom line. So most of our courses are 3 credit hours, so that makes it $990 per course. It's gonna be really difficult to find a program that can come in lower than that. But I mean, it's totally up to you how you want to move forward with it, but you would definitely qualify for this program. Are the classes going to be fixed hours every day or are they flexible? Great question. So the great thing about learning on Coursera is that most of the learning is asynchronous, which means it is not done at a certain time every day. Your class all of your course materials will be available 24/7 at your leisure on the Coursera webpage, or they also have a great app for learning. I was actually taking a course this morning while I was getting ready for work, just watching the videos as I was straightening my hair. And it's a really great opportunity to squeeze in some learning, right? So, but your faculty who are teaching your courses will offer some synchronous aspects. So they may offer synchronous office hours. We do encourage that they do that. So, in the virtual world, they sit in a Zoom room and they wait for you to come and ask questions. They may offer some optional synchronous sessions where everybody gets together for a session. There will be some group work included in the courses, and those group projects do include group meetings, which you'll work out among your group. When is everyone available? When can we meet? And because these courses are worldwide, right, you have to work through time zones, and it's just like, when you're a professional working with teams around the world. So yeah, expect that, but most of your learning is done asynchronously. Stephanie asks here, are books in addition to the $330 per credit hour? Yes, books, and if your professor requires a proctored exam, those things are not covered in that cost. We have been working at UNT to use open source materials, which are free and available. Not all courses use those, but that will be an additional fee. There is Stephanie, help me out here. There is a transfer student fraternity that you can join. What is it called, Stephanie? Do you remember? I know. It's the Greek letter.
Alpha Sigma something. Let me look.
Yeah. So anyway, they do offer help paying for books. So you have to meet a GPA requirement, and you can get help on books for 1 year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be something to consider, as well as joining that fraternity and then using that opportunity to pay for books.
It's Alpha Sigma Lambda.
Awesome. Okay, great. And they're an organization catered directly to transfer students at the University of North Texas. And we get their emails because all of our students are transfer students, and there are a lot of really cool things that they're offering. And so would definitely recommend that you check them out. Cost of books for the program. That's a really good question. I think it kind of depends on what courses you take, of course. And I think probably around $100 a textbook is a good thing to budget for, but that is that is a guess, and that is very arbitrary in terms of what courses you take and what faculty are teaching the courses that you take and all of that, and whether you get a book online or a hard copy. So, but we do try to get those lists to you ahead of the semester starting so that you can find the best deal on your books. You can, scour the internet, and we can get you that information ahead of time so that you can find a good deal on your book. All right, let's see. I need to clean up here a little bit. Is this degree valid while applying for jobs or postgraduate college courses? So I think you're asking if you could work or go to grad school after you finish this degree, and the answer is yes. And you can actually work while you're in the degree. This is, however, a first bachelor's degree. If you already have a bachelor's degree, this is not the program for you. This is not a program that would offer a second bachelor's, because this is a bachelor's completion degree. So this is for students who do not yet have a bachelor's degree. But this degree will make you eligible for graduate school. You may, just because of the interdisciplinary nature of the degree, when going to graduate school, you may take some leveling courses and things like that to get you ready for your program. But that's generally pretty common. And then applying for jobs, we actually have a really great career center that we work with. There are career coaches that can help you find a job, find an internship. We offer an internship class every summer. And so, this is a really good way to kind of take the next step in your career.
I want to chime in. Okay. So this degree, yes, it's a legitimate 4-year bachelor's degree. So when you do go forward and apply for jobs in the US or in Europe, they should be recognizing it as a full bachelor's degree that's legitimate from a tier 1 university. On your diploma, it won't say anything related to Coursera. The diploma it'll say University of North Texas. That's all that's on it. So yes, this is definitely a legitimate degree. And when you're applying for jobs or anything else, it should be recognized as that.
Yeah. So there's a question here from someone who applied last month. If you have applied and you selected the button for a fee waiver and now you're realizing, oh, I don't have a FAFSA to send in, or, oh, I don't meet the requirement. So the requirement for a fee waiver is that your estimated family contribution, which is determined by the FAFSA, is at or below $400. And so if you know that you qualify for a waiver from that, then great. Once we get your FAFSA, we'll process your application. But if you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have selected that I should get a waiver, you can actually call our admissions office. There is a number on the UNT admissions webpage. And you can pay that admissions fee over the phone so that they will process your application. Your application cannot be processed until either we confirm that you're eligible for a waiver or the application fee has been paid. Yes. So this question is, would you be getting a degree, diploma or loan, or would transcripts also be provided? Yes, this is a full university. We are we're a tier 1 university. So we have bachelor's degrees, we have master's degrees, we have PhDs. So yes, you would get a college transcript with all of your credit, with all of your grades. So this is an actual degree program through a tier 1 research university in the DFW area in Texas. So DFW is Dallas Fort Worth. So we are located in North Texas, and we have currently at our university, we have 41,000 students. So we are legit. How will I know if I qualify for a waiver? So great question. And that's based on your FAFSA. So it's calculated in your FAFSA with that estimated family contribution. If you're not sure, you can always contact our financial aid office. They're there to help you and to serve you. And so I think they have email opportunities, they have chat opportunities, you can call the office. We'll put the link for our financial aid office. It's financialaid.unt.edu. I'll put that link in the chat as well, so that you can visit that website, get all the information you need. You can call them to check and see if you're eligible for a waiver, and they'll be able to help you out. Oh, great. Stephanie just put it in the chat for you. Awesome. All right. Well, I don't see, oh, there's a question. Let's see. If you use tuition reimbursement, how quickly is that process? Great question. So I work with several of the large tuition reimbursement companies to get that done. So it is fully dependent on the company. It is not something that the university does. It's something that your work does. So generally what happens is you'll be billed here, you'll pay your bill, and then submit that paperwork to your tuition reimbursement company. I would definitely check in with HR if that's something you're worried about with your company, and just ask what that looks like for your benefit, what company or does your employer do it themselves, or do they use a company to do that? So those are some questions to just check out and make sure that you have some good answers to, so that you know what to expect. Do we have a tuition fee structure? So yes, we do. For this program, it is $330. That's it. That's the tuition fee structure. For the rest of our UNT programs, it is different, and it is calculated by the program. There are different fees for each program, so it's not really a formula that I can share with you. We do have a tuition and fee calculator online that you can look at. You can also, if you're interested in a specific program outside of the B.A.A.S, reach out to that program directly, and they can help answer your questions along that. But for this program, the tuition and fees are $330 period. So keep that in mind. If I already have 90 credits and need to get the minimum of 30 credits from UNT, what's the shortest time that this would take?
So again, we just want to make sure that you fully do have those 90 credit hours, because again, you might have that, but there might be university requirements that you're missing. That would mean that you would have more than 30 hours to complete. For instance, we do have the 30-hour residency requirement, so you do have to take at least 30 hours of class through UNT. And then you also have to at least have 36 advanced hours, and those are your upper level, junior, senior level courses that are 3,000, 4,000 level. So you might have that requirement also, but if you do truly, in fact, only have the 30 hours left, it depends how many classes you take each semester will determine how quickly you finish. And like we mentioned, they're 8-week sessions. You can actually take up to 3 classes per each 8 weeks, but we usually do not recommend that because most people are working full time, have families, have other priorities that you need to balance with school. And so most people will take 2 classes per 8 weeks, and then others will take 1. And so, you know, you can figure it out. If you take 2 classes in 8-week 1 and 8-week 2 in the fall, that's 12 hours. You take the same thing in the spring, that'll put you to 24, and then you finish in the summer with 2 classes.
Awesome. Our last question listed here right now is about payment plans. UNT does offer payment plans. You can see the details for those on our Student Financial Services website. It's is it sfs.unt.edu. So there are payment plans for fall and spring. We do not offer payment plans for summer courses at this time. And there's more information there. Stephanie just put it in the chat. So that link is there. It's SFS, so Student Financial Services.unt.edu. All right, I don't see any more questions right now. So I just want to say thank you for attending today. And I hope that Stephanie and I were able to answer some of your questions. If you're like me and you start thinking about all the things you heard today and 100 questions pop up, definitely reach out to the website, or I'm sorry, to the email address on the screen here. It's unt-baas@coursera.org. Our enrollment coaches will help answer your questions and get you to the right place. Also on May 5th, you can join us for a program overview webinar where we will be going through all of the aspects of the program, what courses you'll take, how long, all of those sort of general program questions and information we'll be going over May 5th at 11:30 a.m. Central Time. And then on June 3rd, we will have a live Q&A webinar. So the whole webinar will be Q&A. You can bring your questions. Stephanie and I will be here to answer any questions you have and get you ready to apply ahead of our, July 16th application deadline. So that is it for today. Again, thank you so much for being here. We will hopefully hear from you soon. Have a great day.